Interesting. So, my name is Mendoza. I've been with Edison since 1977. So probably, maybe since your parents were born, I don't know how old your parents are, but I've been with the company 42 years. And I started out as a laborer, which is the lowest rung on the Southern California Edison ladder. Back then we had meter readers, and they were like equivalent. Meter readers and laborers were kind of the same. And companies like Edison, if you bring value to the job, like any other job that you guys are going to apply for, because assume you guys are going to have a job someday, right? You guys aren't going to live with your parents till you're 40, I don't think, right? That's good, yeah. So the idea for us and the teachers, what's their goal in life to teach? What do teachers want you guys to do when you leave DeWarney High School? What do you think their goal is?
Get more, like they want you to go more towards college, you know?
Yeah, they want to prepare you.
Yeah.
They want to prepare you so you can go out and be successful. I've raised two sons. They're 30 and 27, so I'm a little bit ahead, age-wise, than you guys. But I always told my kids since they were little, you're either going to be an asset or you're going to be a liability. Right? You got to do one or the other. Either somebody's paying for you or you're paying your own way. And generally speaking, in industry, whatever business you go into, and I don't know if I'll ask you in a second, but no matter what business you're going into, you're going to get compensated for the value you bring to the company, to the business, to the enterprise. You can be self-employed, right? There are people that own car detailing businesses, and they get paid based on how many cars they clean, how good they do, right? And there are people that own car detailing companies that might have 50 employees, and they get paid based on how much value they bring to cleaning cars. I'm not suggesting that's the business you go into, but entrepreneurship is also a skill that teachers want you to learn too. Because again, it's not that many years. Seniors, juniors, what are you guys?
Sophomore.
Sophomore? Junior? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you guys really, as much as it seems like it'll take forever, you guys aren't that far away from being independent. When you think about it, you guys are 15, 16, somewhere in the neighborhood. Probably maybe 5, 6, 7 years. The idea is you will be out earning your own way, forging your own trajectory, right? That's good. That means the teachers did their job, your parents did your job, your family, et cetera, did your job. So part of the reason I'm here is when companies like ours come to these career days, we look for independent thinkers, people who can solve problems, people who will show up to work on time, people who do what they're told. You know what I'm saying? All the basic stuff that you learn when you're like 8 years old, when your mom told you to clean your room or whatever. Those are basic skills that are good for employment. So we'll wait for that. Those things are noisy. All day long, right? You're saying? All day long. So even responding to bells and whistles and horns could be part of your job career. I mean, you guys are too young, but I worked in a factory before I started at Edison, and you responded to bells. You know, you show up to work, it was 7 to 3:30. Actually, I was in high school, but I started at afternoon shifts 3 to 7. I'd show up and the bell would ring at 3. Everybody would be at their, should be working right then. It's like being in class, right? If you don't show up on time here, what do they give you? It could be a tardy slip, but how many tardies do you get before you start having to pay a penalty? Well, in work, they call tardy slips, they start counting them. We count them. You get so many tardies in your first period of work. If you exceed the tardy level, guess what happens to you in the real world? You get terminated. Because nobody wants to hire an employee that can't even be on time, because it becomes a liability. So the things you're learning here are really, really valuable for what you're going to take outside. So you guys get a paycheck here. What's your paycheck here?
Good grades. Yeah, and a diploma after 4 years. Diploma,
grades, those are great paychecks, and the biggest paycheck is what you end up putting in here. Is your education. I mean, that's why most teachers, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, most teachers teach because they want to help students grow. I'm not saying all, but most. It's a calling. So when they come to work, they think, how can I influence my students to be better human beings? And you pointed to this one here, school learning, outcomes. So socially responsible problem solvers, analytical thinkers, reflective communicators, and knowledgeable 21st century learners. And I know you guys see this stuff all day long. You go to counseling, what do you call it, the counselor? What do they call that here, counseling office? They got all sorts of stuff hanging on there. How to get to college. I mean, you get overwhelmed with this stuff, I imagine, right? So I'm not crazy to think that I'm just another 50-minute period. I'm not going to change your life. But at the end of the day, if I can share some knowledge, some wisdom. So I got a couple of videos that we're going to. You guys are guinea pigs. Is that okay? Is your guinea pigs? I'm going to show a couple of videos that I haven't shown in a career day, and I want you guys to give me some feedback. Okay, I'm going to do that, and then this slide presentation really is just I could go through this. It's interesting, but with only 4 people, it's different. So I'd rather show you guys the videos, answer your questions about employment. If you want to know about Edison employment, interview skills, what employers are looking for, what makes you successful at my company, which is probably not too different than what makes you successful at other companies. I mean, I could do that. What do you guys want to do? You want to just watch the videos? We'll talk about that, and then you guys can ask me questions because we got 50 minutes, and those are my 4 of it. So before I do that, do you know what you want to be when you get to be an adult?
I'm still kind of not sure.
Okay.
Still undecided.
Undecided? And that's okay. You got plenty of time to decide. Nurse, excellent. No idea? So of the 3 of you, 4 of you, nurse, do you know what it takes to become a nurse today?
Yeah.
What does it take? So it takes time. What else does it take?
Patience.
What else?
Money.
What else?
Brains.
What else? Okay, you hit the big 4. What about stick-to-itiveness? Do you think it's going to be hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be times where you're going to want to go, I think I don't want to do this anymore. The only reason I know that, one of our dear friends is a nurse for 35 years, and she's got 2 daughters in nursing programs. One just made it through, the other's in the middle of it. They love their jobs, but it requires stuff. Do you already have the school picked out where you want to go?
Yeah.
Where at? Citrus, cool. That'll get you started. They have a nursing program that'll get you an RN or an LVN, or do you have to go, that's just starting and then you go to get LVN or RN?
Yeah, both. Which is the best.
Cool. So the reason I ask that is, and again, I've done this particular discussion where I've had a couple hundred students in an assembly hall. It's a little bit hard. The reason I ask is you got to have a plan. So you were able to answer 4 fairly quick questions on what else. So you've thought about this, right? So, you know, a goal is just a wish without a plan. You guys ever heard that term before?
No.
A goal is just a wish without a plan. So if you say I want to make $1 million, well, that's a nice goal, but if you have no plan to make $1 million, it's just a wish. And playing the lottery is a bad wish, right? I mean, they sell it like it could happen, but you guys know what the odds are of winning the lottery?
Like 1 to something.
Well, I did a mathematical equation. I took a grain of pepper. You start to hate those things, huh? I took a grain of pepper and put it in a 5-pound sack of sugar. So there's like 287 million grains of sugar in a 5-pound sack, and I put 1 grain of pepper. And the idea is you could go in blindfolded, reach into that sack of flour or a sack of sugar, and pull out the 1 grain of pepper. How many, would you say that's a pretty good odds of being successful? No, you could do that until you die blindfolded, and it would only be sheer luck that would allow that thing to ever come up, because it's not a statistical probability that you can ever meet numerically, right? And this is a math class, right? You guys are heavy into math. Statistics matter, right? So I'm going to show you guys a video, and we'll talk about that real quick. I think it's hilarious. You guys will tell me. This is an interview. It's fake. So this is a fake interview. I want you guys to watch it. It only lasts 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we'll talk about it.
Amy, it says you are trained in technology. That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No.
PowerPoint?
No.
Publisher?
Not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter. You know the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills, because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you've got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri tell me this, Siri find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand
What do I understand?
what you just said.
You don't understand. You ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8 like in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pumps, skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're gonna be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take the day off. Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
What do you think about that? Besides it being hilarious.
I feel like it was making fun of like millennials because like they're too attached to phones and social media. And,
Okay, so that's it. Absolutely. So there's that. What else? This thing's packed with stuff. Packed with stuff. 2 minutes, 50 seconds packed. We can spend hours talking about it. But what else? Right on. What else? Not getting up in the morning. What do you mean I gotta be at work at 8 o'clock? Who gets up at 8 o'clock? Don't you guys get up probably 6:37, I imagine, to be to school on time, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit later. I don't know how long it takes you. I mean, you might live 2 blocks away. I don't know. What else did it talk about?
Like some people today like don't understand old terms like some employee.
Okay. That's good. What else? So,
About like technology, yeah,
Right.
it's all about, because the guy was talking, you need to be like not advanced, but you need to be in the technology to like know like answers to send to him.
So technology, this is a computer training class, right? I mean, those of you who are in this class. Technology isn't can you use Twitter. That's not technology. Snapchat, Facebook, and that's not technology. Programming one of these bad boys that Obama said, don't just play on your phone programming. This is an incredibly powerful tool, but it's not smart. That's like saying the Library of Congress is smart. The Library of Congress is a building full of books. Your library, do you have libraries anymore here?
Yeah.
Your library is just a room full of books. Those books are as dumb as rocks. I mean, you can hold a book next to your head all day long. You're not going to get any knowledge. This is no different. This is just a catalog tool that allows you to search things. So he says, how good are you at technology? He says, well, I'll just ask Siri. And we do that, right? I mean, come on, everybody here's got smartphones, right? So we do that. We say, Siri, tell me how to get to Starbucks closest to me. Whatever. There's a zillion things we ask Siri. Siri cannot analyze data. Now, you might send you to a website that you can maybe put data into and get it analyzed, but that's another thing. But that requires a skill that says, I know how to take this tool and use it to make my life better. Okay, but to her, what's she saying? First of all, the interview starts, and what is she doing?
On her phone.
She's on her phone. You think that drives interviewers crazy when that happens?
Very.
Crazy. Do you think that? Have you ever gone to a store or a business where the person let's say you want to go buy something at I don't know, any store you guys go to buy things, and the person behind the counter is on their phone, and you're trying to just pay for your hamburger or something. Now, most employers won't let that happen, but you know what I'm saying? It's totally incredibly rude, and it's really what does it tell the employer?
Like that they're not interested in.
Thank you.
Unconscious.
Thank you. Why would I be interested in an employee that's not interested in me? I mean, especially during the interview. For crying out loud, the interview is a sales presentation. What are you selling?
Your skills.
You're selling your skills, yourself, your attitude, your abilities, and all that stuff. So that's why I like to talk about interview stuff. So has anybody here interviewed for a job yet?
No.
Okay. I know you guys know, but see, these are the kind of fundamental things you build into your tool case, right? Because you guys got a toolbox. That carries a lot of tools, but that's not your toolbox. Where's your toolbox? This is your toolbox. So what's going to differentiate you all when she goes to the nursing program? What's your name, young lady? Abigail. When Abigail goes to the nursing school, you got to differentiate yourself. A, through the program, what's going to make you better and different, right? And then when you're better and different, where is that going to take you for an employee, for a job? So just in your world, because I happen to know a little bit about nursing, there are nurses that get their degree and end up working at retirement homes. Not necessarily a bad thing. And then there are nurses that get their degree and go work in ERs. See the difference? Nursing home is a nurse. ER technician is a nurse. They both have the same title, but they're extraordinarily different jobs. Okay, now why do you think a nurse ends up in an ER room versus ending up in a retirement home? Why do you think they end up in those different places? All things being equal, why do you think they end up in those different places?
Because like, if they work at the ER, they have like good timing reaction as well as like smarts that go along with that. Like,
Right. So they have skills that's needed in the ER, which could be many more. What you just said, and then some, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always ask people, what do you call a person that goes to medical school and graduates with a D average? What do you call that person when they graduate?
Doctor.
Doctor. So let me ask you this question: do you want to go to a doctor that graduated from a school that he got out or she got out there with a D average? Is that the doctor you want to go to? I don't think so.
Okay.
No, which doctor you want to go to?
Was like who's higher in the class, like if they have A's or like.
Right. You want to go to somebody that was successful in their training.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't care what training you go to. My business, we take mostly guys. We do have some gals. We take mostly guys that come from a variety of different things. Sometimes out of high school, sometimes out of the military. Sometimes they come from Starbucks. We've had them, they come from anybody. They come in the door. What do you know? You know the two things basically three things. We know what the two most important things we ask them to have. What do you think they are? The two most important.
Their information.
No, when I'm interviewing employees, what do you think are the two critical factors I look for putting somebody in a job that we're going to be hiring for?
Their skills.
No, they don't have skills yet.
Perseverance.
Perseverance is part of it, yes, absolutely. So it's going to be their adaptability and the ability to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like the girl said, you need to be here at 8 o'clock sharp. And what does she look at him and go, 8 o'clock sharp? I Skype with my boyfriend in Paris till 3 a.m. in the morning. I can't get up at 7:30 in the morning. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Only old people do that. So she insults him. So she insults and calls him old, which can be insulting to some guys my age. But what's she saying? You're going to value me because I'm going to show up at 10:30, and you're going to value me because I can Skype and I can Siri. You're going to value me because because I've been told I'm special and I need HR. I need HR to come and hold my hand and say, you know what, you're being mean to me, right? No, employers aren't mean. Employers run businesses, right? So if you bring value to the business and you're on time and you don't show up late and you stay until 3:30 or whatever it is, and you come back from your breaks on time and you come back from lunch on time, guess what? What happens to your value, your stock in yourself? Goes up, up. So then when opportunities for promotion come up, what happens? You can get promotion. So if you're just barely making it and opportunities for promotion come up, what do you get? Less opportunity, right? That's why the grade system here, although it has a lot of different purposes, learning that working hard can get you an A, a legitimate A, right? If you work hard to get a grade that you earned, who has the most value out of that good grade? The teacher? Who gets the most value out of that good grade? The student. The student. So when you walk out of here, let's say if you're taking one of these computer programming classes, I don't know, would you teach programming or practical application?
Both. Software and hardware.
Software. So you come out of here learning this this is probably a fairly basic level, right, for high school. I don't know how deep.
Yeah,
you
we
are.
do HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We
Okay.
program games, websites, and we're currently coding in Python
Cool.
for building robotics.
Perfect. So you just think about it a second. You leave Miss Sang's class with some basic fundamental understanding, and then you go home and you play on that stuff like you would. I was watching a show in the 2000s just last night, and they were interviewing guys like Jobs and Gates and all these guys that, you know what they had? They were visionaries, and they understood coding. Doesn't mean they could code. Jobs was a horrible coder. Bill Gates understood code, but he probably was a coder for zillions of years ago. But he understood coding, and he was understanding visionary. So did they get rewarded for their skills? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I mean, poor Jobs is dead, but I mean, they got rewarded in so many different ways. It wasn't just a money piece. They had purpose, they had direction, they had drive. Like Jobs said, if you ever guys want to Google something really cool, Google a Jobs sales presentation for like the iPhone. He was a master at presenting technology to non-technicals. So think about the skill that takes. To take something, this is a pretty technical beast. How do you explain it to non-technical so this becomes attractive? Because if it's not attractive, they can't sell them. If they can't sell them, they make no money, right? I mean, remember, it's all getting paid for its work. Any questions on that? I got another video to show you. So did you like that, guys, like that video?
Yes.
Yeah. We could probably spend, like I said, we could probably spend hours unpacking that thing. It's just a great video. So I may get to my slide presentation eventually, but we'll see. So I played this video because it's hilarious. Oh, it did it again. It'll just take me a second to reboot it. For some reason, when I leave it on pause for a long time, it doesn't like it. But I did leave the folder open, so it's pretty easy to find.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, Max!
And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%. We're getting more from our employees than ever before.
You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby. Hey, Janice.
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family. He fits right in here.
That's a long distance call, Doug.
To be honest, I wish Reebok sent us 10 Terry tapes.
So, there's a reason I show that video, besides the fact that it's hilarious. That was a Super Bowl commercial 20 years ago. So before you guys were born, that was played on the Super Bowl. Why do you think I show it here? In a high school career day class?
To show, like, have motivation to work.
That's called staff motivation, but kind of, but what else? I like the answer, what else? It's even called staff motivation.
I'm not sure.
No, it's okay. Anybody else want? So in business, like I was talking about before, you bring value to the job. So these people that Terry Tate is dealing with, are they doing their job when he's dealing with them? Guy's playing solitaire on his computer, and Terry Tate comes and just throws him across the room. Guy doesn't do his job with the cover letter, and he gets body slammed to the ground. I mean, obviously we can't do that in business because, you know, the company would get sued. Oh, it's beyond harassment. No.
Physical assault.
Yeah, it's assault. You go to jail for that kind of stuff. So it's completely made up. But it proves the point that when you leave this protected environment, and this is a very protected environment, and I don't mean just from bad guys. I mean it's just, you know, food, clothing, and shelter is taken care of. You really don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. Most schools I go to, I mean, I go to some schools where kids don't get fed very well because they're relatively poor. But you guys probably don't worry about your next meal. You probably don't worry where you're going to sleep tonight, mostly because it's a fairly affluent community up here. But at the end of the day, when you leave this protected environment, you might go to college, which is still a protected environment. But at some point in time, whether you go in the military or you go to trade school or you go to a job, the environment is no longer protected, because then the employer is, going back to what I said in the very beginning, the employer is going to ask you to execute, meaning do what you've been hired to do. That makes sense? That shouldn't be a surprising thing to you all. Okay? So that's why I show that video. Because I like it, I think it's funny. So I got this presentation we can look at, but before I do that, any questions? And I got, oh, you know what, I should give you guys some of the school pencils too.
What's your name?
Dale Mendoza.
And what's the name of your occupation?
I am a technical advisor. Good, that's right. So you guys, you have the sheet. So remind me, thank you for helping me do that. What's your name, by the way? Israel. You know what you want to be when you exceed the school program? Nope, so still undecided. So the cool thing about being undecided, and I hope you see this as full, you guys got opportunity to do anything. You know what I'm saying? You're literally at your ages, you have opportunity to do anything. You think you might want to be a nurse. What happens if you go to medical, pre-med, and you soon, I think I'm called to be a doctor. Maybe you'll be a doctor, I don't know. But you got opportunity here, especially where we live. I mean, for crying out loud, I always told my kids, again, they're 30 and 27, I said, think about people who come to this country with absolutely nothing. They don't have any, they barely made it over here. They escaped another country, whatever. They come over here, they got a nickel in their pocket, and 10 years after they've been here, they own companies, they own businesses, they're employers. Now, it may not be a sophisticated business, but they own businesses. Why is it somebody who doesn't know the language, has no money, can come to this country and be successful? And yet people who are born here, raised here, don't achieve the same level of success. What do you think the difference is?
You know, you've gotten their knowledge from their original.
That's true. They may have come with knowledge. That's true. But what else is, and I like that answer, what else do you think could be the difference?
Like determination, probably.
Determination, yep. Well, they come here seeing this as a land of opportunity. See, we live here. So we don't come here seeing this as a land of opportunity. We live in the land of opportunity. So sometimes when you're in the middle of something, you don't even realize you're there. Have you ever been in a room where it's perfect temperature? Not too hot, not too cold? You don't think about the temperature because you're in the middle of it. As soon as it gets too hot or too cold, you start thinking about it because something has changed your comfort level. So see, we're spoiled. We live in the land of opportunity because we don't ever go to some other third world country, developing country, and see, oh my gosh, they have to fight for a bottle of water. And we throw a bottle of water away, right? And we're saying, so we're very spoiled, if you will. But we're also very full of opportunity, which again, your guys' age, so cool. I love the fact that you've dreamed and you're thinking about the plans to become a nurse. So that's a great vocation. It's really a calling. So thank you for doing that too. It's very important. You know what nursing you want to do? I mean, you have a space that you're thinking? The elderly? Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, geriatrics is very much needed because we're an aging population. You know, our age of people, the kids keeps getting older and older and older. So when people get into their 70s and 80s, they need help. They need help being taken care of in 90s. Both my parents are in retirement homes. My wife's parent, dad, and my parents are still alive in their retirement homes. They're in their 80s. Guess what? You can't quite move as well in your 80s. You can't drive anymore. People cook their food, and they have a nurse on staff that takes care of them if they need medical needs. So that's what happens as we age. Your grandparents may be there. I don't know. Maybe even your great grandparents if they're still alive. So I also, you know, oh, that's right. The music is going to start now. So 46 and we're at 9:30ish, huh? Roughly. So I got 13 more minutes. So I don't want to miss the fact that I have these Edison jobs brochures and careers and college stuff. So if you want one of these before you leave, take them. So I'm going to flash through this real quick, and if you guys want to stop me about anything, this time is for you. If you have any interview questions, application questions, Edison does scholarships. We do $20,000, $40,000 scholarships every year that anybody can apply for if you're a B student or better as a junior in high school. So that's just go online. You just apply online. We award a lot of money. I think is it 20 scholarships? It's $4 million, whatever. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Questions right now? No? Okay. So anyway, back up here. This just tells a little bit about us. We're a big utility. This is a little dated. We're actually 132 years in service. This stuff's interesting, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. So these guys here are linemen. Just down the street, it's kind of unique that you guys are located about half a mile from one of our service centers. You guys have probably all driven down this, what's this street that runs along the freeway? I can't think of it. Central. If you keep going past Central, go past Buena Vista, I think it's in the next block before you get to California, is an Edison service center. But it's right along the freeway. Can't miss it. That's where these guys work. So these guys, they love their jobs, and our guys that do this range from college educated. I don't think we have any guys that have masters or PhDs doing this, but we have some college, and many of them are high school. That's our minimum requirement at Edison. But these guys, going back to what I was telling you, they get trained to do things a certain way. And why do you think we train them to do things a certain way?
Safety precautions.
Safety, exactly. This right here, I mean, this is grounded. That's called grounding, which is another term I won't spend a lot of time. But they work this stuff hot sometimes, and that's 4 kV right there. So that's 4,000 volts. And that transformer has 4,000 on this side.
Amy, it says you are trained.
Sorry about that. And 220 on this side. You know, for your house voltage. So that's a transformer. So these guys can end up working literally right there. And that's why, although this is a little bit dated picture too, they wear this clothing. This is arc flash clothing. So if I'm involved in an arc flash, instead of my skin melting, my clothes, it's like armor for heat. So this clothes that I'm wearing right now would probably take a pretty big flash. And presuming I'm wearing face protection and head protection and hand protection, I could probably walk away from a pretty good flash. Now I'm going to the hospital. And my wife will probably be very sad. It's going to be a bad day for my kids, but I'm not dead. And I'll probably be back to work. It's relatively quick. There's a lot of energy up here, so we really tell all of our customers, be safe, look up and live. So if nothing else of the other things I've talked to you guys, if you see power lines on the ground, anytime, what do? There's 3 things. I do this with elementary school, I do this with high school, junior high, and adults, and senior adults. 3 things we want you to do if you see wire on the ground. Don't touch it, so stay away. What else? Call 911. What else? This is one that some people get, some people don't. So it's good. You've got 2 out of 3 so far. Anybody else want to help? So you stayed away. You call 911, and what else?
Stay clear of the person.
That's right. So stay clear. Well, that's different.
Oh, well, energy.
No, this is not the energy. This is just happens to be. The other one is keep other people away. Right? So there's wires on the ground, and you say, hey, Mr. Mendoza, there's wires right there. Oh, okay. You stay away. I call 911. So you want to protect the area because you know what, little kids, especially little kids, they don't know nothing from nothing, right? That's why they run in the street and chase balls because they don't think about a car. You guys all learned that when you were kids, right? Don't run in the street, car gets right. Didn't you guys hear that when you were little kids? They don't know anything about power lines, so you need to stay around to make sure they don't engage in that space because this stuff can hurt you. That's the size of our company. So I've worked in every space in this company here. I've been at all the locations that are in that footprint.